Hello guys, I'm Yadagiri Reddy and welcome to the series of Java for Absolute Beginners. In this video, we are going to discuss about this keyword in Java. So this keyword is actually provided by the Java, okay? The keyword name itself this. So this keyword is actually provided by the Java itself. That means you don't have to define anything explicitly, okay? You don't have to create or define anything explicitly. So it is already provided by the Java, so you can just utilize it. So what exactly it is and in which scenarios we are going to use that. So first I will tell you what exactly it is, then we will see how to use it. So this is going to represent the current class object. So for suppose I am in program 7 class, okay? So when I say this, that is going to represent program 7 class instance. So if I am in program 6 class, then if I say this here, it is going to represent program 6 class instance. So if you use this keyword in program 6, it is not going to give the program 7 class instance, okay? It is going to give only program 6 class instance only. So that is the first thing. So in which scenarios we are going to use that one? So let me show you one example, small example here. So let me create two variables here, int I comma int j. So I want to add some values also. So I'll give two value here. Okay, these are the integer variables. So 2 comma 3. So I want to create one method here. So the method name I will call it as add. So I want to add two numbers. It's very simple program, guys. Okay, a plus b. That's it. So sorry, it's I comma j, right? Not a plus b. So the variable names are I and j. How do I call this method? So I need to create the instance, right? So I need to create the class instance, then only I can call this method, right? So how do we create the instance? Program 7. So let me name the variable as p7 new program 7. Okay, so this is the constructor, right? So that we have discussed in the last class. So what is a constructor and how do we use the constructors, everything, right? So on top of this, we are going to call the variables or methods present inside this class, right? So our method is add method. So this is how we basically write, right? So whenever you have only one statement on top of this instance, you no need to create the instance and store in the another variable. So what exactly here we are doing? We are creating the instance here and we are storing this instance into p7 variable. So when do you need to actually store? If you want to utilize this p7 multiple times, okay? If you want to utilize this program 7 instance multiple times, instead of creating every time new instance, you are going to create once and you will reutilize that, right? But here I am not calling many times, right? I am calling only one method basically. So for that, I no need to do like this. I can directly write like this. So I can directly create the instance here. On top of that instance, I can call the method. So let me first print this one. So what it is going to return? So it is printing 5 value here. That is well and good, right? So now I want to pass the values, okay? So in this way, what is happening? The values are actually sitting at the class level, right? But I don't want to do like that. So if another user is actually coming here and if he want to call the add method, he cannot pass the values. He cannot change the values, right? So that is why I need to add the values here, okay? So I need to parameterize the method basically. So int I comma int j. So somehow, okay, so you can consider this as a mistake or intention or anything, okay? You can consider anything. So somehow I have provided the names as same as the class level variables, okay? So if you have some variables at the class level, the same variable names I'm going to use at the method level. So is it going to throw any error? It is not going to throw any error because the scope of these variables are completely different. So these two variables are actually having the class level scope and these two variables are having the method level scope. So it is not going to throw any error. But what happens if I execute this program? So before that, I need to pass some values, right? 4 comma 5. So now if I execute this program, what happens? Will it print 5 or will it print 9? So if I add these two numbers, it will be 5. If I add these two numbers, it will be 9, right? So which one it is going to consider? So let's see. So it is considering these values 4 comma 5. So it is taking 9, right? So this 4 is coming and sitting in place of this I and this 5 is coming and sitting in place of this j, right? That means these variables, okay, here I am calling I comma j, right? I am utilizing I comma j. These variables are actually referring to the method level. So even here also you can see when I put cursor here, right? You can see this I is actually highlighted. So when I put cursor here in the j, this method level j is actually highlighted. So why my focus is actually going to the method level? Because I have already class level, right? So class level is the biggest one, right? But why it is actually going to the method level? So that is how Java is actually designed. So the first preference is going to be the method level only. So if it is not able to find at the method level, then it will go to the class level, okay? So for suppose if I rename these things to k and some m, so now these variables, these I comma j variables are not available at the method level, right? So then it is going to the class level, okay? So here also if I change them I, j, j, then it will throw the error. So now it is searching for the method level first, okay? So this I and j variables, it is searching in the method level first, then it is going to the class level. But in the class level also, it is not finding this I comma j variables. So it is throwing the exception, the error. So now there's no problem, right? But in this scenario, we have one problem basically. So what is the problem? So here it is considering these values, that is fine. But I want this program to consider these values, okay? So even though I have declared like this, my program should consider these values. So what should be the solution? So you can say just rename the variables, right? So that is the best and easy solution that you can give. But that is not the way, that is not the correct way, okay? Somehow I have the requirement to maintain like this, okay? But that is not the way, right? You cannot rename the variables immediately, okay? These variables might have used in other methods also. So that is not the proper solution, right? So here, how can I access these variables? So as I mentioned in my previous classes, if you want to access any class level variables, what we need to do? We need to create the object, right? So here what we did, so this is the method that is available in this class. So if you want to access this method, what we did? We created one object. That is simple, right? So we created the object and we call this method. So in the similar way, you can create the object for this class and you can call these variables, right? So that is what you are thinking now, right? So let me do that also. So here 2 times I need to use. So I'm going to do like this. Program 7 P7 equaled new program 7. So you can say that P7 dot and P7 dot here also. So this is how we have to use. That is what you are suggesting, right? But yes, this is also correct. One way it is correct only. So now you can see this one is in blue color and this one is also in blue color. And when I put the cursor here, this class level I is actually highlighting, not at the method level I, okay? That means it is actually pointing to the class level, okay? So now if I execute this program, my output will not be 9, it will be 5. You can see it is actually printing 5. That means it is considering the class level variables. So that is well and good. But every time do I need to create the object like this? It is frustrating, right? So you are already in the non-static context only, okay? You are already in the non-static context and you should be able to directly access these values without creating the object, right? Because you are already inside the class only, okay? Same class you are in and you are creating the object. So it doesn't make any sense to you, right? So if you are inside the class, same class, and if you are inside the static method, if you are creating the object, that is well and good. That is because the static methods are already having some memory and these non-static things will not have the memory. So to allocate the memory, you are creating the object. So if you are confused with the static and non-static, just remember that if you are accessing non-static method or variable, then you have to use the instance, okay? The instance can be created by only creating the object, right? So that is fine. But here I am using these variables within the non-static method only. This is a non-static method, right? So within the non-static method, I am using non-static variables only. And within the same class, I am using them. So why do I need to create the object here? So I should not explicitly create any object, right? So I should be able to directly access them. So how can I do that? So the way is this keyword. So Java is saying that you don't create any object. So I am providing you one keyword. You can utilize that keyword for accessing the class level variables or methods. So that keyword is nothing but this. So when I write this here, so I need to remove this P7. P7 is the instance, right? So now you can see it is not throwing any error and it is a valid statement, okay? You can see this I is pointing to the class level I and this J is pointing to the class level J. That means you are able to access these class level variables using this keyword, okay? So what exactly this representing now? So previously we have created the object for program 7 class, right? So that means this is actually pointing to the current class object. The current class is program 7. Program 7 object it is actually pointing to, right? So when I use this keyword outside of this class, that means in program 6 if I use this keyword, so where exactly it is going to, okay, let me create one more method here. So let me add the variables here in I. One variable only I am going to add. So here if I write this comma, so what I am getting actually, I am getting only I, okay? I am not getting J because the J is actually not defined. So this keyword is actually referring to this class, this program 6 class instance only. It is not going to give program 7 class instance, okay? So wherever you are in, if you use this keyword, so that class instance only it is going to refer to. that you need to remember carefully. Okay. So here if I use this keyword, it is going to give only the class level variables of program 6 only. So I can access I here. So now this is fine. So we are accessing and we are trying to print. So this I value is coming from this program 6 class I variable. So when I use this keyword here, this is going to point to the program 7, this class level variables. So that is the first thing. And second thing is, so whenever you want to return the class instance in method, then you can use this keyword. So what is that meaning actually? So for suppose here this method is not returning anything, but I want to return this class instance. So if I return this class instance, how do I write? So if I create the instance, right? That instance is of type program 7. So that is why I'm writing program 7 here, right? So if I return integer value, I'm going to write integer because the value is actually of type integer, right? So in the similar way, if I return the class instance, right? That instance is of type program 7. So I need to write like this, right? So here what I will do, I need to create something like this basically, right? So if you want to return the instance, you need to create the instance and return it. But Java is saying why you are actually creating the instance again. So we have already told you, right? So if you are already in the non-static context, right? So if you are already in the non-static method, why to create the instance again? Just use this keyword. That is what Java is saying, right? So let's use this keyword. Now you see, it is not throwing any error, right? So you can use this keyword wherever you are actually creating the instance in the non-static context. So what is non-static context? So if it is a non-static block or if it is a non-static method, that is called a non-static context. So you can use this keyword in the non-static method context only. So here also I am creating the instance only, right? But when I try to replace this with this keyword, it is going to throw an error. So what it is saying, cannot use this keyword, cannot use this in a static context. Why it is throwing like that? It is saying this is a static container, bacha. You cannot use this keyword inside this static container. So in the static context, you cannot use this keyword. That is what it is saying, okay? You can use only this keyword inside the non-static context. Now you got the idea, right? So let me write here. This cannot be used in static context. So that's one thing you need to remember. So here it will be new program 7 only. So that is about this keyword, guys. So I hope you understand. So basically this keyword is actually used to represent the class level variables or methods, okay? To access class level variables or methods of type non-static. And this can be used only within the non-static context. Fine? So that is about this keyword, guys. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you like the video, please hit the like button and also share this video with your friends. So if you have any comments or if you don't understand this concept properly or if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.